Yeah, I think it brings up a great point, and let me see, Yvonne, Doug, the importance of words.
Mm.
Well, when we're talking about mentoring and mentor, mentee, protege, learner, apprentice, right? The practice of mentoring, the competence of mentor, the presence of mentorship. Like there's a lot of words that sometimes get thrown around in there. Would you agree that words are important and we have to figure out which words going to fit for that arrangement, for that relationship?
I would have to agree that words are extremely important. Otherwise, I would be tripping myself up because I had a best-selling book in November 2018 called Words, Women, and Wisdom, The Modern Art of Confident Conversations. And it looks at 40 different words and word concepts. And very often we can shift the energy because the book is intended to help women elevate their confidence by having more powerful conversations. Sometimes it's a word that in some contexts would seem like there's not that much difference, and yet there is. If I take should and could, for example, should has a very obligatory tone to it. It sounds almost like you're being forced to do something. You don't want to do it, but you have this obligation to complete. I really should be doing this. Whereas could is an air of lightness and possibility, and the energy behind the word is quite different. So I'm definitely a fan of picking the right word. And if within this context, if I need to switch my language for it to be mentee in order for that to be consistent in the programming here, I'm certainly happy to do that.
Doug, any thoughts?
Well, it was just Yvonne's brought up an interesting point, was the use of the word should. And I actually was doing some work with a professor out at the University of Regina, and she literally beat it into me, where every time I would say, well, we should do this, and she'd go, nope, just wait, there's no shoulds in life. So get rid of that word, come up with something else. So it was quite interesting how, from her perspective, exactly like Yvonne had said, was the word should has a completely different connotation than perhaps what we're looking for.
I think
we want mentoring to be to be an expansive conversation. It's a fantastic learning opportunity. And if you start introducing words that sound like they're too structured or too rigid or law or obligation, I think it shifts the potential outcome, because it shifts the energy around the conversation.
Yes. And that's why one of the important elements of setting up a mentoring relationship, mentoring arrangement, and you mentioned it, Yvonne, is the importance of defining the terms and concepts very early on in the connection and the arrangement.
Yeah, and very often what I'll do if I'm doing a kickoff session for a mentoring program, I'll talk about what's the difference between some of the words that are commonly used as a way to learn. So whether it's coaching, counseling, consulting, training, managing, mentoring, they all are different. Coaching being the only one really that is future based, because it's questions regarding a future potential. Counseling very much looking at past issues. Tell me about your childhood. What might have led up to this, past beliefs. Consulting more of being, you are coming to the table as the expert with strategies and solutions. So that's very much telling as opposed to asking. Training, again, how to do a task really well. That's telling. Managing, hopefully managing is now moved into the arena around expected performance, at least, of being a combination of telling and asking. I'll tell you as the leader what I need, what outcome I need, and when I need it by, and then I'll ask you how you plan to start accomplishing it so that you can get it done on time. So it's a combo. And then mentoring, again, being a combination of telling and asking. Here's how I did this. What could you do, given that you have that insight now of one potential way that might work for you? So it's telling and asking. But it's useful, I think, to I've had a lot of feedback on that particular slide in the past, saying, "Oh yeah, now I get it."
The element of these words that we're talking about, I believe, is going to be a consistent and long-term conversation within the international mentoring community. Because as we expand and extend what we're doing, we're going to be getting a lot of different views of a lot of the words that Yvonne just mentioned, managing and leading, coaching and mentoring, facilitating and training. These are going to be on the table many, 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 many times, and we welcome it.